Tom Green versus 4chan, Tales from the Internet. So Tom Green has early skate connections. I always thought he was like somewhat of a skater, and then his like representation in pop culture would be like a little bit skate oriented. But he was kind of OG pioneer of like internet culture talk show era too. So
hello,
let's
you're
see.
On the air.
That's Steve-O.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, Steve-O, can you tell me how to shot web, please?
Can I tell you how to shot web?
Steve-O's era, where you gotta watch Adam Carolla. Steve-O blackout drunk on Adam Carolla is crazy. I can't believe that it was like on TV.
Yes, please. How do I shot web?
What the fuck is shot web?
Just tell me how to do it,
He's
please.
just wasted. He's wasted.
If this is the first time you've ever seen him, you probably won't believe me when I say that Tom Green was absolutely one of the most influential people of his time. When the Tom Green Show came to MTV in 1999,
Yeah, he breaks the table,
almost
Gia.
immediately became
Adam
the
Carolla.
biggest thing on the planet. Part sketch comedy, part talk show, part prank show. A typical segment involved things like going to the store and buying condoms.
I'm just gonna buy these condoms.
He's kind of awkward too.
'Cause I'm planning
He was
on
kind of like, he was almost a little bit like of the Napoleon Dynamite, like, I am really awkward, that's why it's funny, haha. He had a bit of that energy
Love to
too.
a woman tonight, and I'm really excited about that. Okay.
Or waking up his parents by putting an actual decapitated bullhead in their bed while making Godfather references.
Luca Brazzi sleeps with the fishes.
It was a relatively short run, but over the course
He's
of
kinda
about a year
awkward.
and a half, he changed the course of comedy forever. For better or for worse, I mean, I just saw someone say that he was Logan Paul for millennials. I don't know how to feel about
Yeah,
that.
it kinda
but there's
makes
no
sense.
denying that he did pave the way for things like Jackass or Tim and Eric
It's not funny.
or Eric Andre. I've even seen people point out similarities to Nathan Fielder's work. And his influence doesn't just stop there. You see, years before Twitch or even its predecessor Justin TV, he'd go on to be one of the first people to do a live stream talk show from his own home.
Yeah.
Tom Green Live, later known as Tom Green's House Tonight. A show that Joe Rogan has cited as the
Young
main
Joe
inspiration behind starting his own podcast. But when I think of Tom Green's internet show, I don't think of Joe Rogan, nor any of his other celebrity guests like Steve-O or Tony Hawk. No, when I think of Joe
Tony
Rogan,
Hawk? Was Joe Rogan's show, it used to be live? Was it live from the beginning, or did it evolve to live and then go back to non-live? But look at this iMac. I never had an iMac like that. And the guy's like on the TV.
nor any of his other celebrity guests like Steve-O or Tony Hawk. No,
Tom Green, Tony Hawk interview. Yeah, I
Joe,
mean,
I
I
don't
feel
think
like, I think Tom
Joe
Green,
nor any of his other celebrity guests like Steve-O or Tony Hawk.
I'm pretty sure Tom Green had a guest board on Birdhouse. Maybe it was a prank, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a graphic of Tom Green Birdhouse board. Could be wrong.
No, when I think of Tom Green's internet show, the guest I think
did?
of is this guy right here. No, not that guy. This guy. You see, Tom Green was a trailblazer in another very important way.
It was him and the
Before
Dead Deer.
Church of
Yes, what movie is
Scientology,
that? Freddy Got
before
Fingered?
Chris Chan,
There's a mini
before
ramp
Hal
in that
Turner,
movie.
Tom Green was one of 4chan's very first targets, an experiment that would set the stage for decades to come. For today's video, let's take a look at Tom Green versus 4chan.
This is the Tom Green Show. It's not the Green Tom Show. This is my favorite show because it's my show. If this was your show, you'd probably like it more than I did. That's just because it was your show. But it's not your show. It's the Tom Green Show.
This video is sponsored by Helix. Helix makes premium mattresses.
Alright guys, I'm curious. What do the reactors do when this happens? Do they watch the ad or do they skip? Am I allowed to skip and post without the ad, or should I watch it out of respect? I'm actually genuinely curious. Skip? Who are some other good reactors too? I skip. Who am I trying to emulate? Asmongold? Why would you watch the ad? I don't know, to pay respect to this guy for making the video. XQC watches? Yeah, see, Asmongold watches too, I thought. I feel like maybe there's some kind of unwritten rule that if you're going to watch the vid, you should watch the ad. But that's why I'm actually asking. It's most ethical? That's what I was thinking too. So I guess let's watch. I'm trying to be a good reactor.
Is embedding custom fit to your needs and shipped straight to your door. Everyone
But then,
sleeps
like,
differently,
damn.
so Helix has you take a sleep quiz to match your body type and sleep preferences. On the
Asmon
site,
watches the ad.
sleepers
Yeah,
say
that's what I was
Helix set me up
saying.
with the Sunset mattress.
Watching the
Helix
ad is
lineup
good
offers
react.
20
Okay.
unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections, the Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall
What
sleep.
the? Interesting.
And the Helix
Display.
Fizz mattress, designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US.
I've seen
Comes
XQC start a
rolled
video,
up in
walk out of
box
the
and
entire
it's
room.
easy to set
Yes,
up.
I would say
And make sure
XQC is
you
a
love
bad
your Helix
reactor
mattress.
and
They have a
Asmongold is a
100
good
nights sleep
reactor.
trial. You also get a
That's what I was
10-year
asking.
warranty as well as financing options and flexible payment plans. I've been sleeping on a Helix mattress for a long
They
time
pay big
now, and it's
streamers
some of the
to
best
watch
sleep that I've gotten. Right now, Helix is
YouTube
running a
videos.
special sale just for you guys. Just visit the Helix site for 25% off your mattress purchase. 1996 was a
I would watch the ad, then afterwards check the actual ratings and reviews. Love my fucking asso. I don't know. I'm just trying to be a good reactor. I think watching the ad makes sense. If you're going to watch the video, you probably should watch the ad. Because this is this guy's ad. This is not non-YouTube premium ad. But I don't know. I'll leave this part in the YouTube video. Let me know if you think that's what a good reactor would do.
strange year. You could sense that the overall vibe of culture was kind of shifting in an edgier direction, but it wasn't quite there yet. Jerry Springer was a year out from hitting his highest ratings peak. WWF was a year away from the Attitude Era. And we're a ways away from Dave Correa's generational defining drawing of Slipknot crucifying Fred Durst. I remember that summer, MTV started airing this show called Buzzkill. It was a prank show with these three guys, Dave, Travis, and Frank, who would get sent on these Mission Impossible style quests to fuck with people. Sure, prank shows have been a thing since the 40s, but this felt different. It was a little grittier, more like a reality show. And in some people's opinions, it was also mean.
Don't get Jack's Films on my ass. So like, there's two people that hate React content so much. Jack's Films and Dark Viper AU, fellow Australian GTA streamer guy. But this is the thing. I totally get where they're coming from. I 100% agree with them. They say you're stealing the content, blah 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 blah. The thing is, I love watching React content. They never talk about that. I personally absolutely love watching it. So where does that leave us? If I want to watch it, then it can't exist. How could it exist? The reactor has to make their own video to react to? How else can it exist, you know? That's the one thing they never mentioned. There's extreme demand because I absolutely love watching it. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm trying to be ethical reactor. I think reacting is fun. I don't think you're stealing the content. I think you're creating this new thing, transformative, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know.
People, a big sticking point was that they never actually brought the victims in on the joke. They never did the whole, hey guys, you're on camera. They never did that. Whenever the prank was over, they just get in their van and ditch their costumes, and that was the end of it. And a lot of critics were put off by that. But despite what critics thought, the show was an instant hit for MTV, beaten out only by the dating show Singled Out before ultimately becoming the top show on the network. And then after just 21 episodes, the show just mysteriously
Jack's
vanishes.
Films is the guy that
Never
had
to
the
be
Sniper Wolf beef. Sniper Wolf, you would say, is an unethical reactor where she reacts to TikToks, never credits the creators and all stuff like that. And he kind of he had big campaign against her. It was hilarious, his campaign. But then he got in trouble for harassing her. YouTube kind of deemed it as harassment. And she doxed him. Literally went to his house, fake ordered food to his house to try to get him to come outside, which is super messed up. But the whole thing was a little bit messy because it was Sniper Wolf was 100% in the wrong, but then they were YouTube was more hey, you're harassing, and Sniper Wolf did something bad. You're both bad. You're both doing bad, when it was really super kind of one-sided. Because Jack's Film, he was making jokes about her, and maybe he was making too much negative content about her, but his criticisms were 100% valid, you know? But he did go maybe a little bit too hard, maybe flew a little bit too close to the sun, and then you could see how someone could argue that it's harassment.
Spoken of again. Most TV networks would kill to have a surprise hit like Buzzkill. So what could have possibly happened? The truth wouldn't be revealed until 17 years later, in a piece by Sean Manning for The All where he spoke to the former cast members. They had already gotten fired after a segment for the second episode. Frank dresses up like Isaac Mizrahi for a fake fashion show. After explicitly being warned not to, he accidentally tricks Whitney Houston. His Isaac Mizrahi impression was just so convincing that she came up to him completely unprompted. And after she learned what happened, she swore she'd never work with MTV again. But ultimately, this wasn't his fault and the show was a smash hit, so they kind of forgot they fired them. But there was a
Sniper Wolf React was so lazy, he wasn't even reactive, literally just her playing the video. Well, yeah, it would be a quick montage of many TikToks, and she goes, wow, this guy's in a pool. Oh, he fell. That's crazy. That's not commentary. That's not reacting. That's just explaining what's happening. And Jack's films would talk a lot about all that, and he would have all his legitimate concerns. Whereas if you watch someone like Asmongold at XQC, they're playing the video, then they pause, then they give their own personal take, then they give a lot of insight and talking, then they play again, then new information comes, and they talk again, you know. I think that's a pretty big difference than just going, wow, guy with glasses talking, oh cool, okay.
A bigger ongoing problem. In 1996, more people were just starting to get cell phones, so now they'd be filming a prank.
Yeah, I think her
people would
boyfriend
call
at the
cops.
time was playing the
this
game.
Had MTV worried about legal trouble. The final
Shout out to
straw
Sniper
came
Wolf
when they were
making
giving
millions per
samples of
month,
a steak smoothie outside of Whole Foods. While pretending to be a customer, one of the boys faked a seizure. One of the bystanders gives him CPR and he pukes in their mouth. While this is going on, a concerned citizen calls 911, and that's the end of the show. Picture Marty McFly going, I guess you guys aren't ready for this yet. Because according to Travis, MTV would very quickly go on a mission to explicitly find a Buzzkill replacement. MTV would find this replacement in Tom Green. At the time, Tom Green was an up-and-coming comic in Canada, and over the past few years had produced over 75 episodes of his show for various networks,
75?
starting on public access. He clearly had solid work ethic and a ton of upward momentum, and this all goes parabolic in 1990.
I like how he's kind of wearing a suit that like doesn't fit. I feel like it adds to the mystique of just like, this is a weird guy. He could get a very nice fitted suit, but he just has this blocky, like awkwardly fitting suit.
When the Tom Green Show makes its debut on MTV. And it's kind of funny that for all the shit MTV gave Buzzkill, Tom Green pushed things so much further.
Please be corn. Please be corn. Please be corn.
No, I don't want you to do that with you.
You're not allowed to do that. But if you want to do it, just pick up the phone, hit the button that says page.
Mom? Mom? Where are you, Mom? Mom? I'm lost. Mom? Mom, I'm lost.
See, this
In
is
a
kind of
lot
early age
ways,
YouTube
Tom
type
Green
shit
was
too.
kind of the precursor to the modern internet troll, with
Yeah.
segments just built around seeing how far he can push people before they snap.
So in general, like some of the shit's funny, right? But in general, I don't personally like content when you go around in public, and what I call it is terrorizing the village. Like, if you go and you just fuck with people that are trying to live their life and you're making their day worse, I don't like that. Like, this is, you know, maybe I have to watch more to really see where the lines are. Going on the speaker is not too bad, but like some of the ones where they single one person out and like really try to fuck with them, and then probably for the rest of the day, that person's like, oh, why did that happen to me? People that do that, I hate that kind of content. I think that's really messed up. The one thing that I will like from the public thing is if you interact with people at the public, but the joke is on you and something crazy happens to you, and then their response is like, haha, that's so funny that this thing is happening to this guy. So they're like laughing at you rather than you laughing at them. Then I think it's okay.
Illness or death caused as a result of people ingesting the mustard? Don't want to buy bad mustard.
Yeah, more like this type of shit, I guess.
Anyone ever come in the store and gotten mustard in their eye? I got mustard in my eye! All right, thanks very much.
Like, a lot of Tom Green's pranks at this point felt more Frank Hassel than they do candid camera.
This is what people are doing
My
now,
favorite
fucking with people.
example of
Yeah,
this is
they have
Undercutters,
security, they fuck with people, then they
where
say
he gets in
don't
his
do
car
that, and they go talk
follows
to
a
my
pizza
security.
delivery driver,
Terrible.
and he tries to sell a slightly cheaper pizza to the customer. This ends up with Tom getting chased by a guy with a hammer. There's also the time he paid for everything in pennies.
I should just pay with something smaller, since it's only $5. It's okay. Yeah,
That's funny that only $5 is so many.
it's okay.
Or narrated people's lives with a megaphone.
Some people have commented we don't do enough observational humor on our show.
You have purple hair. You're drinking some juice right now. I'm following you. You're going somewhere really fast. You have to get there quickly because if you don't, you're gonna be in big trouble. You're
Some of it's
waiting
set
for
up,
the
yeah,
bus
probably.
right now.
Oh, and who could forget the time that he gave away his co-host Glenn Humplick's actual phone number on the show? A big part of it was also gross
Crime.
out stuff, like when he famously sucked the milk right out of a cow's udder. Unsurprisingly,
Getting the milk from the sauce.
gross out stuff, like when he famously sucked the milk right out of a cow's udder.
I think you could get sick from that,
Unsurprisingly,
right?
The critics hated the show even more than they hated Buzzkill.
Oh my god.
But nobody
I was
cared.
about to pause at that. I was gonna say, yeah, if you go on his Instagram, he goes live and he'll just be like on a farm and he'll be like, oh, there's Bessie the cow. Oh yeah, I'm on the farm.
Cares what the critics think, and the show is a massive success. Like, it's hard to overstate how famous he was at the time. He's in commercials.
I broke it! You made me break my banana!
He's putting out music.
My bum is on the rail. Bum is on the rail. Look at me. My bum is on the rail.
He's in movies.
Yeah, I remember this movie.
Such an idiot.
You are a psycho.
And then everything is dragged to a screeching halt when he's diagnosed with testicular cancer. This is effectively
Ooh, I didn't
the
know
end of
that.
his show. Spare for
This video essay, right? It's Tom Green versus 4chan. We're 9 minutes in of the 24-minute video, and we have not mentioned 4chan at all. We're just building up Tom Green's career. Are we going to go by the 3-act structure? 9 minutes? 9, 18, 24? No. 9, 18, 27.
a cancer special where you see them take his ball out. It also delays his own movie that he'd been working on by 6 months, and even then he was still apparently in agonizing pain throughout the whole production. Of course, I'm talking about the infamous Freddy Got Fingered, which would hit theaters in April of 2001.
This has a mini-ramp scene.
BBC's Danny Graydon summarizes the film, caning a disabled person's legs, falsely accusing someone of child molestation.
Well, at least I don't touch Freddy.
Or what?
Yeah, he touches my little brother. He fingers him.
Swinging a newborn baby by its umbilical cord.
Yeah, I remember this movie was like shock content at the time. I remember watching and be like, what the hell? One of my favorite movies.
Oh, and lest we forget, wagging a horse's genitals. Welcome, one and all,
so
to the
good,
things
yeah.
that ex-MTV shock comedian Tom Green believes constitute hilarity. Although the divide between critics and fans was massive for the Tom Green show, the movie was a different story. There were a rare few critics who saw the movie for what it was, but basically nobody knew what to make of it at the time. It was nearly universally panned by both critics and fans alike.
It's a vomitorium of a movie starring Green as Gord, an obnoxious retard who makes it his life's work to freak out his dad.
But see, this is what I hate about 2025. Let this shit exist. You can condemn it. Condemn it as much as you want, but let it exist, you know? Don't watch it. Let all the critics say it's bad. No one support it. But you shouldn't, like, say this is not allowed to
Played
exist.
with teeth gnashing scorn by Rip Torn.
Yeah, this seems bad.
He's rigged a pulley system. So
Back when you could say the R word was normal. I think the R word's making a comeback, to be honest. I think it is, but I don't know.
I'm being creative. No, if you'll excuse me, I still have some work
I mean, you can go to Home Depot and buy fire retardant, so...
to do. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
It's a barely coherent series of events loosely tied together like you're watching a dream.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm underwater. Look, I found a treasure.
Get out of my goddamn scuba gear, you imbecile!
That's his dad, right?
It went into that underwater cave.
Get out of that!
Not the best argument.
But when you take a structure like that and you apply it to comedy, it almost
think it was
feels
pretty
like
solid.
it's a parody of movies altogether. It's like Tom made this while all the while saying, I can't believe some idiot paid me to do this. The film's enjoyed a bit of a reappraisal in recent years, and at the time since, Tom's more or less said as much. He was famously the second person to accept a Razzie.
I feel like people more hateful than ever at the same time. It's weird. Yeah, I would agree, Gia. The thing with words, I think the whole thing with words is like, words are a tool to convey ideas. If you censor a word, it doesn't censor conveying the idea. It just makes it a little bit of more legwork to convey the idea. So censoring the words to me is I feel like it's kind of stupid.
Award in person for the movie, and in 2024 he'd speak to Uproxx about it. It just seemed like the thing to do. I mean, at the time, the word trolling didn't exist, but making the movie was a massive troll. And what are we trolling for? We're trolling for that, right? So of course, I'm going to accept my awards. This is what we were doing. Again, you want to talk about things being a little ahead of the curve or whatever, you can say that or not about this movie, but that's what we were doing. We were trolling the entire industry. Tom, of course, would wind up being one of the first mainstream celebrities to learn all about that. But before he could, MTV tried to revive the Tom Green Show in 2003 as the new Tom Green Show.
100% people are more hateful than ever. Also, while trying to make words illegal, should fully erase them, acting as if they were to do that so people are less mean. Yeah, I think we live in a very interesting time. I feel like the world's been changing very drastically, very fast. Maybe me living in America made it more apparent, or not. I wonder if they feel it in Australia too. But what's 5 years gonna look like from now? I feel like it could go either way.
More into the late night talk show aspects. This was a very short-lived show, but it did give us a rare glimpse of an actually mad Tom Green. So for the show, he had a custom desk made that was designed to resemble Johnny Carson's desk from the 1960s.
Legend of Rec G, suppressing the word are the expression of the idea. Suppressing the word. Oh no, he says suppressing the word retards the expression of the idea. Well played, Richie.
$10,000, and he had to fight MTV to
I had to read it carefully.
Then one episode, he had Jesse James Dupree of the band Jackal. So one of Jackal's most popular songs is this song, The Lumberjack, in which Jesse plays a chainsaw solo. Jesse brings the chainsaw with him to the new Tom Green show, and the first thing he does is take it to Tom Green's $10,000 Johnny Carson desk that MTV didn't want him to have. Tom spends the rest of the show seething with rage and taking sarcastic jabs at Jesse whenever he can.
So, tell me about your little rinky-dink show that you do. I mean, are you all right? Are you all right?
Oh man, I don't want to be too debating. I'm trying to react. This is the thing. If you insult someone, it doesn't matter what words you use. You shouldn't insult people. But I think trying to change words that have legitimate meaning is a slippery slope. I don't think you should use hateful words, and you shouldn't use words that make other people upset. But if a word has its own legitimate meaning, and then it could have a secondary meaning, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it gets weird. It starts to get weird if you just start doing that for all the words.
All right, Bert, are you okay? What should I do here? You're a producer. You've been in television a long time. You produced the Jerry.
Words aren't hateful. Their meanings get changed. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Same as how I don't really accept Weedle grab. In skating, it's mute grab. Try to change it now, but you can't. It's already over. It's already done. Yes, words aren't hateful, intentions are. I agree 100% with that. But still, yeah, you should draw some lines in the sand. I feel like the lines have been getting very interesting recently, though. I disagree. Say things that upset people.
Springer show. What should I do here? Should I act like this is cool? Like this dude came out here, up our desk, and I don't care? And then go on and have some interview where I'm really nice to him about his little rock and roll band? Or should I just move on and do what we were supposed to do?
I think everyone should try to be a good person.
The last appearance of Angry Tom Green.
And try not to upset people, but you also have to respect yourself too.
2006, Tom Green would partner with Mania TV for an internet call-in show called Tom Green Live, later renamed to Tom Green's House Tonight. Now, any call-in show, no matter who's hosting it, no matter what,
don't tell Casey that mistake.
Is going to invite prank callers. Usually they'll try to prevent us with call screeners and tape delay, but sometimes they make it through anyway. Tom Green.
When's 4chan showing up? I'm 13 minutes in.
So he's getting the stream going with frequent appearances by celebrity friends like Steve-O and Tony Hawk. And they're enjoying the ability to say and do whatever they want without network executives or the FCC breathing down their necks. There's the occasional prank call as expected, but it's mostly people just excited to get to talk on the phone with these guys. A few months later, though, the show gets the attention of 4chan. And this, of course, is where it always gets a little murky when talking about early 4chan history, because I'm really certain I would see the show getting posted to be before the big raid, but most sources seem to mark the very beginning of the pranks as August 16th of 2006. But the coverage of
Should I explain 4chan for what people don't know? This is my understanding of it. I never went on it, but I just understand like the culture or whatever. Is that it was like a message board, and then there was one section of the message board that was like free speech absolutism, kind of, right? Free speech absolutist, people would say crazy stuff, and it could be like truly anonymous, sort of. So people would do terrible things and post about it on 4chan. But then 4chan as an entity would sometimes kind of like work together too. And like notoriously they've attacked Scientology and like done some stuff like that, kind of like to troll. So I guess that's what it's going to say here. Maybe someone else can give me a better definition. I feel like it's like Reddit. It's like Reddit that got out of hand. Well, it's like early Reddit that there's a big message board and 4chan is just one part, no? And it was like there's one section where you could say anything and you would never get banned, I thought.
Events on Biblioteca Anonymous seems to agree with my memory of events, saying that About 10% of the callers were 4chan pranks at first. In any case though, August 16th is when the actual big raid begins. There's very little that still
Reddit without
survives
censorship
at the
and
actual
anonymity.
event,
Thank you,
aside
first
from a
time
few
chatter.
clips on YouTube,
I think I was close enough.
forum posts, and accounts of it on Encyclopedia Dramatica and Biblioteca Anonyma. But essentially on this day you got a mix of people posting about their pranks on B and organizing an IRC, and the whole thing snowballs until essentially 4chan has taken over his entire show. Mostly just spamming him with memes like do a barrel roll.
A barrel roll.
Yeah, a barrel roll. On air.
A barrel roll.
Yeah, a barrel roll.
A barrel roll?
A barrel roll.
He's very expressive. I like his face of just like,
A barrel roll.
Or saying Desu over and over again, which is a meme that was from the anime Rosen Maiden. And of course, with the Habbo raids only just having happened the month prior, you also
never
got a bunch
played
of
this.
people saying pools closed. And while most people would start their call just by yelling the meme right at Tom, other people would try to lure him into a false sense of security first.
Oh yeah, help.
So, am I right in understanding 4chan just said, hey, our new hobby is to troll this guy? Because there weren't many live streamers, so they call in and just troll. Typically, on like, this was an internet show, right? But any of those shows like Jimmy Kimmel or whatever, I don't know if there were ones where you could actually call in. Or like a radio show where you call in. Usually the way that it works is you call, a producer talks to you and says, oh, hey, what's your story? Tell it to me first. And then they say, okay, now we're going to put you to the air. So whenever you call into some of those shows, it'll be the first time that the talent is hearing it, but the producers already kind of like approved it. So like if you wanted to say something crazy, you basically have to lie. You have to say, I'm going to talk to Tom Green about how he fell on a mini ramp. And then when you get through, then you say crazy shit. So there's like this extra level of security, whereas it seems like he just answers any call.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey Tom, what's up?
Pretty good, man. What's going on?
Not too bad here. Just chilling out watching your show on the internet here. First time I've even seen this thing.
Awesome, man. So what are you doing today?
I'm not doing anything, just chilling out here in Red Deer, Alberta, actually.
Oh my gosh, Red Deer. I love Red Deer. You know, I've been to Red Deer many times.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fat.
Tom Green as a fat N-word would of course become a staple of these raids. At the end of the show, Tom says, thanks to you assholes, this will no longer be a call-in show. Of course, the show that followed him couldn't function without callers. It was a women's advice show called Girl Talk.
Uh-oh.
I'd just like to say, show tits or get the fuck out.
Oh my god.
Hi, I'm George Zimmer.
Is this live? What is, there's a lot of cuts for live.
CEO and co-founder of the Men's Warehouse.
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Well, I don't know. I like this girl at school, but I'm always real shy when I try to talk to her. And I asked my mom about it, but she got scared and said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle to Bel Air.
Now, an important part of 4chan raids at this point in time, some people are very intent on keeping 4chan a super secret club. You know, rules 1 and 2, you don't talk about B. If anyone asks, you gotta say you're from E-Bomb's world. Which, that would eventually get E-Bomb's world sued, but that's for another video. That wouldn't happen this time, as someone called up Girl Talk and gave the game away.
Are you familiar with 4chan by any chance?
No, what is it?
It's a site on the internet, which is the reason why you guys get so many prank calls.
Oh.
At the time, there was a bit of a divide over the rules. Some people adhered to this stuff religiously, while others are like, the rules are just a joke. It was never meant to actually be taken seriously. There's already thousands of people on 4chan, you absolute LARPing morons. So whoever that caller was, he was essentially trolling that side of 4chan. And
I just feel like being mean isn't very funny. Rick G, I 100% agree with you. I feel like calling in the live show, you could do some very funny things. But just saying tits or get the fuck out is not funny. I agree. But you could do funny things, 100%. You could have very elaborate funny things to occur that is not necessarily super negative to the show. But I think what they were doing is not
only
cool.
Imagine how butthurt they were listening to that. Of course, Tom Green wouldn't entirely go through with his threat to end call-ins. He'd do shows both with and without calls, and these pranks would persist throughout the next several years, often embarrassing Tom in front of his celebrity friends. It was a love-hate relationship. Tom, of course, was made aware of 4chan from day one, and as time passed, he would gradually develop more of an understanding of what was going on here. For example, you got this clip that seems to only still exist on a 10-year-old Gamer from Mars video of Tom Green explaining 4chan to Tony Hawk.
Oh my god, no way, no way, no way. Holy shit.
Hey, what's going on? You're on the air.
Hey, Tony Hawk, what's up?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, I want to ask you about a character on the new game you're gonna make. I was wondering if you're gonna put any mudkips on it.
Does this mean anything?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means. Is he?
Probably not.
On Skype?
Okay.
Isn't Mudkip's a Pokemon and it was kind of like a meme that you would just always say it, right?
Hello, you're on the air. Does he say? I don't even know what that word means. So does he say something horrible there? That
I was gonna say, giving unfiltered access to Tony Hawk, this is wild. I mean, no wonder it was successful.
Added out at the end of the night? No, it just makes no sense.
No.
Okay, just makes no sense. There's a kid, yeah, it's a little thing about, it's a 4chan thing. There's kids on the internet, they have this group of kids and they like to say funny words like barrel roll or
Okay.
There's a video game move from Star Fox. Star Fox 20?
Star Fox 64.
Yeah, and they've been dogging me for a year. Gotta tell you, driving me nuts actually. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I scream,
Tom Green was actually the first.
I mean, I feel this is like the original toxic audience. You know how like some live streamers foster a community that's like super toxic against them? It's almost what Tom Green was doing at that early time. But I feel like he should have embraced it. Maybe he just should have tried to figure out a way that it's not like live, or that it's not like the call. There's like some kind of other padding between the call and the guest. But maybe that's what made it popular, is that the call is crazy to Tony Hawk.
First person I would ever see attempt to pronounce the word meme in real life. I think he said Mimi. That clip though, like a lot of other clips, is long gone.
Now YouTube comments
Drive me
put
crazy
4chan to
for
shame. No, Instagram Reels comments. You want to see the craziest comments is on Instagram Reels, not on YouTube, not on TikTok. Instagram Reels has the craziest ones, definitely.
At times, he'd even play directly to his new
not even
4chan
Facebook.
audience, like the time he recreated the Gentleman meme, or one show where he asked his audience to play the game, during which he promised to keep taking calls as long as his view count didn't drop. Of course, to keep him on forever, they just botted his views. Eventually, he'd get pissed off when people kept on yelling slurs at him, and he'd end the show by yelling phones are bullshit and ripping up his phone cable.
Yeah,
And then
Mike,
after the
you
show
are
ended,
missing
the server
out.
got DDoSed. Which is a bit extreme, I guess, in comparison to things like the time they got him to put meat spin up on all his screens. Then there was another episode that was his way of trying to counter-troll the trolls. He announces a call-in episode and people are getting ready to get the business. He starts the episode by badly and obnoxiously playing the saxophone. Then he keeps playing, and then he keeps playing for...
I'll admit, I'll confess. I 100% made people click meat spin in class at high school. 100% did. I remember one time. No, maybe, which ones was it? Meat spin and My Lazy Sundays. And there was another one where it's like IP tracker. It was like, yeah, check this, IP tracker, watch this, it can track you. I remember doing that to this one kid. And then I think he plays meat spin. And his shock, like I felt bad. He was so shocked. Yeah, my IT class at school, we would do crazy shit all the time. Like, the teacher was so chill, and just, we would be doing, it's kind of crazy to think, like, imagine if I got caught showing another kid meat spin. What does the teacher say to me? Probably big penalty. You know? Like, it's kind of fucked up. I don't know. Good times. Good times. Yeah, we watched some crazy shit in that IT class.
for hours, and he never opens up the phone lines, and that's the end of the show. And he does this again the next day. May those guys waste their time. March of 2009 was a particularly tumultuous time in the relationship between 4chan and Tom Green. On the 2nd of March, Tom had Married with Children's David Faustino and Corin Nemec of Parker Lewis Can't Lose on as guests. He orders some pizza from a
Turing
local
Claus
spot
is crazy.
called
We would
Pizza
play Call of Duty all the time. We would play LAN. Because back then, could you even play online? I don't think you could. Maybe it's only LAN. I don't know. But we would have a LAN server and it would be like my friend group and then kind of like the nerdy friend group, and we would all come together to play Call of Duty. Sometimes we would have like 10 people in the server. There's a class of like 30 people. We would have like 5 to 10 people playing. And the teacher comes, you just alt-tab, close the window. It was actually so lit. Looking back, it was actually so unbelievably lit. Because the class was so easy. Year 9 IT class, oh, fill out this thing. We just all do it in like 1 second and then we play for like 20 minutes.
The IRC server decides that they're going to cancel his order and instead have $79 worth of pizza from Pizza Hut sent to his house. You know, make him question his sanity a little bit. Be like, oh, did I order from the wrong place?
Exactly.
You know, a little bit of classic gaslighting.
We had the same, but Halo, sick.
Overusing therapy words.
Yeah, I remember like me and like some of the other guys would have it on like a USB stick and we would go around and put it on all the computers, and then some new people would be like, I want to play too, and then we would like give them the USB stick, they install it, join the server, boom.
However,
we
they didn't succeed in canceling the original order. The call to Pizza Land is actually on YouTube, and you can tell the caller starts to feel bad as the old pizza man is on the verge of tears.
He's not gonna pay for your pizza.
No, he's gonna be.
I mean, we love Pizza Land. We order from you guys all the time, but.
I know, and you love my pizza, but you know, why did you do this one today for me? I don't understand.
Dang.
Well,
But the Pizza Hut order does arrive first. And as Tom realizes what happened, he admits that he actually thought this one was pretty funny. He pays for the extra pizza and enjoys it. This stunt would be repeated months later with $450 of sushi. Despite his enjoyment of the pizza prank though, I guess a little while later he realized the implications of having something sent right to his house. His address had been leaked a while ago, but I think this was the first time anyone actually made direct contact like that. So a few days later, he makes a blog post noting that he likes the attitude of the prankers, but anyone who takes things too far will be reported to the FBI Cyber Crimes Division. We have a very serious computer forensics team on the case starting today. You will be
never ever put shit out like that. Jeez. Now he's about to get swatted for sure. 100% he's about to get swatted. Because this is the thing. If they deliver the pizza, you just gotta pretend that it didn't happen. You gotta pretend that you didn't have the delivery or something, as best you can. Writing a blog post saying, hey, that was funny, but don't do it. What do you fucking think they're gonna do? Jesus. Oh my god.
Executed to the fullest extent of the law. Keep it cool. Go prank C-SPAN and
watch him get swatted.
And they did.
Next call's from Oneonta, New York, Republican line.
Not too long ago, I met a woman from Iraq. She was a citizen over there. And she had to leave her family behind because over there in Iraq, everyone was getting barrel rolled.
You guys rock. All of you.
I actually didn't see that coming.
I love you guys. Funny shit. TG. Ultimately, I think all things considered, Tom Green handled the pranks pretty well. Although obviously his haha love you guys demeanor in that blog post wasn't how he was feeling all the time. What he was experiencing was completely unprecedented. I mean, sure, 4chan didn't invent prank calls, but I don't think there had been a situation like this before in all of human history.
Yeah, because it was kind of the first call-in successful show.
Thousands of people gathering to prank one specific guy in real time for years. And I don't think Tom Green ever actually went through with a lawsuit, you know, unlike certain other people who will be covered in a future video. Looking back at some of the old footage, some of the few clips that have avoided deletion throughout the years, it seems like he did what he could as a performer to try and make it work.
A barrel roll.
A barrel roll.
And I have to imagine that on some level, especially now with this situation so many years behind him, that he might have felt some kind of kinship towards his prankers. Being that in some way, Tom Green kinda was the original troll, and then he has the next generation taking it and turning it around back on him. But I think
that's true. Like how he's going out covering himself in mustard, they're doing the equivalent of covering in mustard to him. So it's like he kind of fostered it a little bit.
Some insight into the approach he took here can be gleaned from his 2020 appearance on Legion of Skanks, where he speaks about the chainsaw incident.
I got mad, but while I was getting mad, to me in my head, I was thinking, this is fucking awesome. Comes up on Facebook, and all the people are in the comments are, oh, why are you mad? You used to cut desks and you can't even take it when someone cuts your desk. They didn't understand that there was this entire dialogue going on in my head where I was happy that I was mad because it's funnier if I'm mad than if I'm not mad. So
that's the situation. I'll tell you what
I've been trying to explain this for 15 years.
Whether or not he's being honest here is up to interpretation, but you look at the interview after the guy chainsawed his desk, and you look at a lot of the 4chan clips, and it seems like this is actually the case to me. But anyway, that's all for now. This video actually started as a smaller segment in a video I was working on about Hal Turner, so if that interests you, you're going to want to subscribe. And if you like this video, check out my video about Scooby versus 4chan. I'm out.
That was interesting. I feel like that was very long. I feel like the video could have been shorter. I feel like setting up Tom Green could have been like 75% shorter and then got to the thing. But that was cool. Shout out to this guy. Nice video. Shout out to the mattress brand. Oh, he just made this too. Damn, 2 weeks ago, 500k views. I wonder what this like niche is. What happened to Mole Rats 2? The Red Power Ranger Rumor. I would click that. Hell yeah, I would click that. Okay, there's his channel. That was interesting.